Day 4. We're still going strong. And I have to give my daughter full credit of this makeup tonight. I mean, come on. One, I don't know how to do anything different on makeup. I have my set 2-minute routine. And my 14-year-old is a whiz at makeup. And tonight at 9:30 p.m. she said, I want to do your makeup. So I am full makeup, 10 p.m. Just about to go wash it off so I can go to bed. But I'm loving it. She did a great job. I'm pretty proud of her. She's hired. Yes. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm already bored with talking about my days. Maybe some days I will, sure. But like it's already boring for me. So I've been trying to feel into like, what is this supposed to be tonight? And it will probably be 10 minutes tonight, which is great. That balances out the 43 minutes from last night. But today is New Year's Day. And, well, I think we should just begin with, we made it through 2025. It seems like the consensus that 2025 was like the year that broke everyone. And while I know nothing about astrological or the year of the snake or all these things that's all over the Instagram, I'm guessing energetically something really did happen in 2025 that shook us all. And I will say that all of my deepest fears, deepest traumas, deepest, like everything came to the surface in 2025. And I lived. And so did you. We like lived through it. And so I think there's like something to celebrate and also something to tell our brains that if we've been through the hardest thing ever and lived through it, well, now we can just kind of walk through life feeling a little bit stronger. That's how I feel. I feel a lot stronger and I feel so ready for 2026. So some of my favorite things right now, let me show you. I'm pretty excited about this. Are you ready? Hold on, I have to remember the name of it. Shiva Lingam. Have you ever heard of a Shiva Lingam? It is a massive stone. You see this Shiva Lingam? It's so big. It's like 10 pounds, maybe 5, but it's heavy. And this is an ancient stone that's found, or so I hear. Maybe this is a completely wrong story, but sure. It's a lovely story, so let's believe in it. That in India, the ocean pulls back a few times a year, and when the ocean pulls back, the bottom of the ocean is covered with Shiva Lingams. What? Yeah, this is what I hear. And Shiva Lingams they're supposed to represent the masculine and the feminine together. And so anyways, I bought this a year ago from a crystal girl and she forgot about sending it to me. So I literally just got it a week ago, a year later, and I grabbed it and I was like, oh my gosh, that is what this year is. This is the year for me where I am embodying the masculine and feminine parts of me because I hold so much masculinity because I am the provider for 5 children. So I hold so much masculine energy in that I am their provider financially. I place, shelter over their heads. I feed them, I clothe them, but I'm also the mother. And bringing in the nurturer and the love and the compassion and allowing both of these parts to find their way to I hate the word balance, but like a cohesive nature within me. So that's what I'm really holding for 2026 is this magic of holding the masculine and the feminine. I'm very masculine in business, right? Like I have built a multi-million-dollar company from literally $5,000 in my bank account 2.5 years ago. There is a lot of masculine energy that has happened to birth such a thing. And yet everything is guided by God. And I really feel like that's the feminine for me. The feminine is that I'm always asking. And I'm going so much deeper into that this year. So I'm feeling this, this excitement in my heart that I haven't felt in a long time. Like almost like, oh my gosh, I can feel like something is brewing. I live for excitement. Oh, I live for thrill. And so I'm hoping that you're feeling this right now. Like 2026 is just this excitement brewing within the belly of your heart. And I believe that excitement actually magnetizes wonder. Excitement pulls in the miracles. But there's a piece that God taught me this year that's super important, and it's been coming in so loud today. So this is, I think, probably what tonight is supposed to be about, is it's these two laws that God taught me this year when I was writing my book, Transfiguration. And the laws are the law of magnification and the law of multiplication. And so the law of magnification, I was sitting writing this book, and God showed me, and it was so fascinating, but God showed me okay, let's restart. God showed me that God is a magnifier. So however I come to sit with God, by law, it must be magnified. And so God showed me that every time I came into prayer and I was just like complaining, or I was like begging for something better, like that frequency was multiplied, like almost like God's like, I'm a magnifier. Like you come to me in this energy and it will be magnified. So then that is when God taught me to pick up all the suffering that I have, all of the struggles, and put them into God. Like literally give them all over to God first, and then ask God to touch my cells that they may match the frequency of God. And there I go and sit and I ask for this to be magnified. So it's not that we like come to God like, oh, I'm so happy when I'm not happy. It's like, give your suffering over first, then ask to have your frequency shifted. And as you do that, then meet with God. And by law, God will magnify it. It's changed my life this year. And so now when I go to sit with God, which this is my prayer corner, when I come in here every morning, I bless my body. I bless every chakra. This is my prayer bowl that I keep water in, and I bless the water that it matches the frequency of God. And then I take the water and I bless every chakra in my body with this water to change the frequency of every chakra inside of my body. And once I have done that, then I pick up all my suffering, because we all have suffering, right? Pick it all up, put it into God. And then I let the suffering leave my body. And then I ask that God will touch my cells. And sometimes I ask that my cells may have a new blueprint placed within them. And sometimes I just ask that my cells will match the frequency of miracles, but I pull them up and then I sit with God. And as I've been doing this, one, I've watched my life radically shift this year. It did not take away suffering, and it did not take away the hardships. Like there was a lot of hardships this year, probably more than I've had in a while. But also, this year was the year of miracles. And I just believe that you can't have one without the other. And I remember one morning I was sitting with God, and every morning I asked God to place his hands on my head and give me a blessing. And every morning I hear a message. And one morning God said to me, and I can't remember the exact words, but it was something of the essence of big problems are the key that open the door to miracles. You want miracles? You gotta have big problems. I was like, you're right. Duh. How did I not know this? How did I not see this? Because I kept being like, why does God just keep giving me bigger and bigger problems all the damn time? But then I'm always asking to receive miracles. I'm always in the business of like pulling miracles down from the heavens. And God's like, well, you can't have a miracle without a big problem. And so I began to be comfortable with big problems. And then this thought came to me, like, we're going to have problems anyways, right? Like before I started a business, before I was a single mom, I had problems. I've always had problems. Have you always had problems? Probably. It's like part of life. So if we're going to have problems, might as well have big ones and then be in the business of receiving the miracle that's possible through the big problem. So this year really taught me these principles. One, when I go to sit with God, I want to be in the vibration that I want magnified. And then the second law, the law of multiplication. This law was such a powerful distinction for me because God showed me that miracles cannot be made without matter. So in the scriptures, it says that God took matter and created the earth. God wasn't just all poof, earth, right? The story is God took matter and then turned the matter into earth. And then God showed me another time in the stories of Christ and how Christ was like, well, the multitude needs to be fed. Like, what do you guys have? Like, bring me something. Like, Christ wasn't just all, and poof, food is here. But when the boy brought Christ the bread and the fish, then Christ could multiply and was able to feed the 5,000 and then had leftovers from like, what was it, like 5 loaves and 12 fish or 12 fish? I don't know. Anyways, not very many, multiplied to the thousands. And so God showed me, well, if you want to ask for miracles, Kira, you want to ask for abundance of finances to be able to do all these things, then give me matter. And so that's when I started to understand, like, I had to give God matter, which is, if I'm going to write a book, that's me giving God matter. And now God can take the matter that I created and go out and create miracles with it. So if I want to close 5 new sales, I got to give some matter to God. I got to create a program. And then I got to create the marketing, and then I got to send out the emails and do the Instagram posts and do the texts, and I do all of these things and I give them to God and I say, here's my matter, now multiply it. Here's my offering, now multiply it. And I watched this principle over and over and over again. And what was fascinating to me is that maybe I sent 10 emails out or whatever. Maybe I sent an email out to my whole list, and then I sent an email out to some possible people who've been wanting to join a program. And I watched that a lot of the times, if I'm praying for more clients, the clients didn't come through those exact ways, which is fascinating. They like boomerang around in the most miraculous, synchronistic ways. And it's because I gave God matter. I gave God my offerings, and then God has something to work with. Yes? And so these two pieces put together, the law of magnification and the law of multiplication, really changed my life in 2025. And I'm going so deep, like deep into that in 2026. Really getting clear on my energy, specifically when I go to sit with God. What do I want magnified? And then every time I want results, well, what offerings am I giving to God as matter to multiply? So I hope that this was like a little snippet tonight that give you some new visions for 2026. And if you don't have visions for 2026, one of my favorite things to do, which is always a little risky, okay, just side note, but when I ask for new visions, God will give me visions. So if you don't have a vision for 2026, then I invite you to ask God, what are my visions for 2026? Why it's risky is because, well, when God gives you a vision, well, now it's like a commission, and you got to do it. Okay, so there's the risk. There's your disclaimer. Something I say all the time, which is it's better to not ask than to ask and not do. Which means that if you're going to ask for a vision, then you better be willing to do it. Otherwise, just don't ask and live the way you want to live. But I will tell you, monotony is it's the death of miracles. Monotony steals away our joy. Even though monotony has a safe feeling to it, it has a familiar energy to it. But monotony is what kills our passion, our creation. And it for sure does not breed miracles. Miracles, actually, they are birthed from risk, because risk takes faith and courage. And so if you ask God for a vision for 2026 and you see it or you hear it, then it's your opportunity to be courageous, to take inspired actions. And remember that God only gives you visions that are yours. And God will never give you a vision that you cannot complete. Okay? So, 2026, I am so damn excited. I am so ready. Let the fun begin. All right, have a beautiful night. I will see you tomorrow.